important to not let that get bogged down. You are not a diagnosis. You are not a diagnosis. You don't want to fit into a basket. And again, disordered thinking precedes the chemical imbalance, it precedes the habitual depression, it precedes everything else. Because why? Because either you've undergone a trauma in your life or you weren't taught how to deal with the negative things that we all have to go through. And therefore, you weren't taught that you can change. And when you change, the situations change because you have that mark on your forehead, right? You have that mark on your forehead. You see, you're meeting people with a mark on their foreheads that are joyful marks. They're reminding you that we should and can choose joy and happiness. If you say that in some places, people they get very angry. What do you mean I can choose happiness? I'm sick. It's not my fault. And you know what? They're right. It's not their fault. It's not a question of fault. It's a question of understanding that you get a choice, that you're free to choose, and you're free to choose joy. We spoke briefly about Yishuv Hadas and how you can't really have tefillah, proper tefillah. This time of year, before we get into Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, everybody is beating themselves up on those days. And Breslovers all year long, day after day after day, are making hisbodedus and already saying to Hashem, okay, I failed, I'm human, I need to do tshuva, but I'm also good, here's my good points. And they're bringing themselves to joy. And that's lifting up the tefillah. It's lifting it up much, much, much higher than it would go from a place of heaviness, earth, depression. The clay digger was digging in the earth. Originally, what had he been digging for? Clay. What is clay? Clay is techol, because that's sand in Hebrew. And clay is a mixture of sand and water. That's ultimately what clay is. Techol, chol. Techol is the name for the spleen. The clay digger was digging around in his own depression, his own heaviness, his own spleen. And when he found that diamond, he acted. He said, this is going to be the ticket out. And he learned the lesson that even in the dirt, you can find the diamond. And so that when he got on the ship and he was dealing with this Meshuggah pirate, he was able to maintain his cool and say, being sad isn't going to get me anywhere. I may be scared inside, but I'm going to do my best to project happiness, to project it out there. And what happened? The captain. Who's the captain? Yitzhar? Yitzhar. The captain believed him. He fooled the Yitzhar. He fooled the Yitzhar. Can you imagine that? He was, oh, just be happy. I'm scared inside. I might look like a dummy, but I'm going to be happy. And he tricked that Yitzhar. And what happened to the Yitzhar? He killed the Yitzhar. He killed the Yitzhar. Bam. I love this story. By the way, I have so many interpretations of this story. But this is an amazing mashal. You know, we all learn, I don't know, many of you have learned Sipurei Masios, Rebbe Nachman's big stories. And we have a lot of commentary on them. But on these parables, there's no commentary. Only modern commentary. You can go and see in them what you want to see and find something for you inside them. Okay. So,
Thank you.
any questions, comments?
So the spleen is the seat of emotion?
It's the seat of depression.
Correct. expression is an emotion.
That's right. It's not literally necessarily in the spleen. We have an understanding that the spleen is a process. Every organ of the body isn't necessarily just a lump that contains something. It's a continual system and process. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Father?
Just related to that,
Yes.
when people are there studies that when people have issues with their spleen and they need surgery, that's connected to
I don't know, but I'd like to look it up.
Yeah.
Because very often, we know joy is in the heart. And very often, we know that with heart problems, what we hear is we hear that you can literally die of broken heart. The Japanese have a name for it. I can't remember the name in Japanese. I used to know it, but it's called octopus trap heart. Because an octopus trap in Japan is a very oddly shaped. They eat them. Very oddly shaped container. And the octopus can get in, but it can't get out. And the trap is all twisted up. And they've done studies in Japan that have been replicated in America. And the studies they've done have shown that people with a broken heart and that have undergone such a loss can end up actually having their heart swell and change shape. And it can cause serious problems. And I can send you the research if you want. Yeah. So we know that all these different body parts definitely, they contain and they affect, but they are systems and they are processes as well. So to say, does sadness, does octopus lodge in the spleen? It's tricky. Like, how do you put that into language that's at once spiritual and physical? Okay?
Rebbe Nachman, or the other guy, Rebbe Nachman, wrote, Anatomy of the Soul. If you ladies don't have
You
it,
didn't write it. Rabbi Chaim Kramer.
Okay,
Yes.
you gotta get it, because it deals with exactly what Chaya Rivka was talking about, how your body functions and how the emotions, the mind, whatever you want to call it, it's all one. And each page is like an hour or two of study. I wish I had a study on that. But if you're looking at it by one book,
Do we have
that's
any?
one pick.
What's it called?
Anatomy of the Soul.
It's out there on,
Everybody
listen,
finds it.
that book is a life changer. I recommend it also to everyone. And we also have a course on BreslovCampus.org, a 4-semester course going through most of the book page by page by page. So please join us. No, it's on Breslov Campus. The book's out here. Now, I would like to talk about another diamond briefly before you can take a few-minute break before we have our wonderful Georgianne speaking. This diamond is a diamond for somebody who has been a very big contributor and supporter of BRI Women in our inception. Come up here. And I want to know, I ordered a bunch of these diamonds, and I want to give them out, but we're giving our first one to Miriam Marika Frohlinger. He's come with us to Oman 2 times, and he's a wonderful supporter and dear, dear friend. And this is yours. It says BRI Women on it.
Oh my God, thank you.
Enjoy Okay, so we'll take a break. She's very shy, but that's okay. So we'll take it. You deserve it. What you're wonderful.
I love every BRI woman, and it gives me so much joy. Actually, I take the joy, the happiness. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going.